On the occasion of International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination, I've made this short YouTube video with little to no impact but with a bold stand to answer a very simple question. Is it okay to be racist? This is the first International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination after the ignition of the ongoing racial unrest in the United States, which gained national momentum with the Black Lives Matter movement, and reminded us, puny humans, that despite all the talk about science, progress and civilized existence, racial discrimination has yet to leave the world stage. The substance of this video may seem unrelatable if you happen to be somebody who has shut down doors for all logic, reason, possibility and consideration, and you only find comfort in the bed of your predefined conviction about the world, despite how much misleading they may be. With that, I request the viewers to watch the next few minutes of this video with both tools of an evolved being, an open mind and a rigorous scrutiny. When we talk about racism, most people still see the world through a keyhole. After just a few seconds, I'm going to say a word, and I want you to hold the thought of the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear them. Are you ready? Here it goes. Racial discrimination. Yes, that's the word. 2 words to be precise. Now my friend, my question to you is, when you heard the words racial discrimination, what did you picture? Did you picture a Chinese lady being racist to a Japanese man in any form? Or did you picture an Indian teenager becoming a social outcast in her own school? Or was it the picture of an African American guy getting stared at with weird eyes in the bazaars of India? Or did you picture a British man trying to be politically correct with every word he utters so that he doesn't get labeled as a racist? Or were you picturing a Nepali Indian being called Chinese even without being a Chinese? Or was it a South Indian guy that came to your mind who is called out to be black? I'm sure it was a British guy acting out on his anti-French sentiments. Or maybe it was a white American belittling a Mexican immigrant. Or was it a Mexican mohair stereotyping a Chinese guy? I see, it was a Bihari guy getting called out as Bihari across India, right? Wasn't it? Oh wait, no. It was an African American boy not feeling too open to a man from Africa, right? Or maybe, just maybe you pictured 2 Indians staying in the United States being racist to each other for being Indian. Do you see where I'm going with this? Depending on who you are and where you are from, you must have pictured it differently. But most people would have thought of something that closely resembles black versus white. But the point here is that it isn't about one group against another. It's a freaking battle royale going out there that begs us to ask the question, if everybody is racist to some extent, doesn't that mean we humans must be born racist? Since we all, despite our races, belong to the same species of animal kingdom. If you are starting to ask questions along this line, you are actually on the right path. In fact, many studies have shown that babies are racist. Wow. Allow me to elaborate. 2 studies conducted by Professor Kang Lee of the University of Toronto have shown that racial bias may rise in babies as young as 6 to 9 months of age. This means that humans adopt racist behaviors at an age when we aren't even aware of any socio-political dynamics. This is huge because it suggests conditioning of racial bias that leads up to racist behavior by an individual in the future need not be initiated by social conditioning or biased education, things that we are only capable of grasping since our preschool years. This rules out racism as a mere social or political construct. It has to do with some predisposed human behavior, and that's true. But how and why? Let's continue our current line of thought, and you will see 2 parts of the first year of an infant. Early days when they are not racist, and the second part where around the ages of 6 to 9 months a baby evolves into a racist baby, like the second stage of Pokemon evolution. And I'm sure that all of us can agree with the fact that this means that we aren't born racist. And that's true. Other studies have shown that usually the younger we are, the broader is our circle of compassion, which shrinks as we grow up thanks to societal conditioning. I'm sure you can see the problem emerging here. If we aren't born racist, And if we start becoming racist before the age when we become susceptible to social factors shortening our compassion circle, why does it start at this problem of an age? Well, my friends, the answer lies in survival. Here is the shortest way I can summarize in a random YouTube video with probably less than 10 views. You see, the best way to survive is not to get yourself killed. And our brains, being the survival machines that they tend to analyze, learn and store information necessary for our survival. And you guessed it, it associates familiarity with yes and stranger things with no. This makes sense. Think about it. If you stay with your parents or your spouse, when you come back home after a long day of work, do you check if they are hiding a big granite rock under the table to bludgeon you to death and to have you for dinner? No, right? Similarly, when you go to the zoo, do you get inside the tiger's cage and start cuddling with that beast of an animal? No, right? While some parents might want to eat their children and some tigers might not skin your meat off your bones, but as a survival machine, our brain, it's not gonna take that chance. With this in mind, let's go to Lee's remark on his own findings. According to Lee, these findings point out to the possibility that racial bias may arise out of the lack of exposure to other race individuals in infancy. And that sums it up pretty well and explains the curious case of racist babies. So, it's okay to be racist, right? I mean, if babies are racist, doesn't that mean that we are bound to become racist despite not being born racist? And I hear you, your conclusion is not incorrect. If we are predisposed to racism as a means of survival, there is nothing wrong with it. So that's the answer, folks. It's okay to be racist and you are entitled to discriminate against other races or even kill them once in a while. But only if you are a caveman. Only if you are incapable of abstract thoughts. Only if you are incapable of extending your compassion beyond the boundaries of your primal brain. Only if you are incapable of logic, reason, possibility and consideration and human connection all modern humans have the potential to. A Homo sapien with the ability to use the prefrontal cortex of their brains to the extent where it is no longer considered a tribal animal, but a scientifically literate, logically driven, spiritually motivated, a universally civilized being, who can and will see past the color of somebody's skin and the shape of somebody's skull. It's not that they wouldn't see race. It's not that they wouldn't see the difference in skin tone. It doesn't mean that racial stereotypes wouldn't cross their minds. It would, always. But they also know that seeing past all that is what makes us different from being unintellectual cavemen. For them, hating somebody just for the race they belong to would be like loving Diet Pepsi because a redwood tree is not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It doesn't make sense. They would understand.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die.
So wasting time with trivial matters such as these would be beneath them. They would rather use their time to make their own purpose, contribute to progress to create a sense of belongingness, because eventually we all gonna die. With the modern invention of the internet, it has become easy for every human individual to connect and understand each other and each other's cultural differences. If I see someone like Tom Cruise or Morgan Freeman or James Spader or Jackie Chan walking by an empty street near a desert, I'm gonna run, not away from them, but towards them. As an Indian, I'm gonna take their autograph. I know of them and their work through the internet. For my brain, they are not predators who are gonna eat me alive. They might, but the chances are very slim. The internet is a tool that can help us and has helped us to raise funds and support people of other ethnicities, races, countries, and even planets. Well, maybe not the last one yet, but it has helped us to extend our support in the times of crisis, in the times of need. Not once, not twice, many times over. This proves that despite the lingering knife of racism that hangs above all our heads, just waiting to fall down on us, there is still hope for mankind. That being said, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this video, hit the dislike if you hated this video for some reason. In any case, do make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. You can support this channel by hitting that red rectangular shape that says subscribe. It will cost you nothing at all, but would mean a lot to me and for this channel. And as always, thanks for watching.